Hola there, bromigo.
That's cultural appropriation.
No, it's just being multilingual. I can't think of the word.
It's called Dua Lipa.
What?
If you can speak two languages, it's Dua Lipa. That's the word.
Isn't that a person?
No, it's the word.
No, it's definitely a person.
No.
Yeah, Dua Lipa.
Yeah, that's her name. Two languages, 'cause she speaks in Spanish and English, idiot.
No.
Dua Lipa. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that was a person, though.
It is.
For a while.
It's a person, and that's
Oh.
the word for being able to speak multiple languages.
We were listening to that song once. And Maddie had said something, and I was like, what?
So you're saying you are Dua Lipa?
Yeah. Confirmed. What have you been up to?
I just had a sandwich.
Oh, fun. What kind of sandwich?
Grilled chicken
Oh,
with American cheese.
Oh.
Banana peppers.
that's not
Grilled peppers.
That's not Dua Lipa. American cheese.
What'd you have for dinner?
I didn't need anything.
That's a first. What are you going to eat?
Probably nothing.
Probably snacks. Bunch of ding-dongs and devil dogs. And
No, I don't like devil dogs. They're too dry.
so what's your favorite, Lil Debbie snack?
I don't know it's Lil Debbie, but it's like Nutter
Crunch.
Butters.
Nutter Butters? You mean Crunch? The Crunch bars?
No,
Nutter
they're the
Butter.
like layered ones.
Oh, yeah. In that, it's all the crossy lines on the top.
Yeah. Those are a real weakness.
I know. I like the zebra cakes. Those are good.
Mm.
I haven't had any of those Little Debbie snacks in so long. I love the crunch ones. Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
though.
the crunch bars are really good.
And they always get mistaken for that blue crunch, the candy bar crunch. It's like blue with white letters.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody ever knows what the Little Debbie crunches are. They only think of the crunch bar.
Mm.
And the crunch bar is disgusting, but the
Yeah.
Little Debbie crunch snack is very good.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that
It's like more of a cookie, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad ate a lot of my ice cream last night too.
Yeah. During the game.
No, after.
You
In
guys
the middle of the
weren't.
night.
You guys weren't double spooning.
No, I was.
You guys weren't running a train on that cream.
I left a ton of it left because I was like, I'm gonna have this tomorrow. So I had maybe a third of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I got home today, went to get some, and it was all gone. There was none left. The container was gone.
Mm.
So he ate all my moose tracks.
That's what happens.
He's such a slumlord.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can make it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't even pay the water bill.
Mm.
Hot water tank went.
Yeah. No, it was a real problem. So I really dove into this. It's not like anything new or hot, but Waco.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know anything about it. I knew it was like this whole the cops attacked this cult, and then it was like all out war for a while. I didn't realize one, they're not a cult. They were just
Waco, Texas.
yeah. Yeah, have you watched any of the docuseries stuff? Oh, it's really good. Tim Riggins is in it. Murders it.
Tim Riggins.
Yeah, he literally makes you like the guy. Where you're like, he's not a bad guy. He just wants to have all these married women.
Oh wait, I actually had a coworker tell me about this.
Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely swayed in the way of against the police and FBI and all them because. Actually, no, not the police, just the FBI and whoever initially attacked them.
Mm-hmm.
They actually make the town police look like a hero. It only shows the sheriff, and they talk to the sheriff, and they're like, "How do we reason with him?" He's like, "You just leave him alone."
Mm-hmm.
He's just a guy. I don't know. It was really funny, but I don't know, man. There was so much I didn't know about it. Where it was they were literally just there. And their whole reason for getting attacked was because they changed one barrel on a gun,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were just this is a crazy cult. Let's go get them.
Wow.
And they accidentally started shooting at them. So then they're all right, aren't gonna like. Obviously, you're not gonna just get shot at for no reason. And it wasn't like 3 guys. Like it was a massive team. So they retaliated, and it became this massive ordeal. There was just constant like miscommunication and like egos. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like kids died. Dude, it was so sad.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really good series. And obviously like a really tragic event.
Yeah.
But after I had finished it, and I was like, my first thought was like, damn, it must be really cool to be one of these guys in history who was like that intelligent. Were you convinced like at least 100 people to just follow you blindly?
Yeah.
Like part of his thing was he took over someone else's like religious group.
Yeah.
And then was like, hey guys, God told me, like, obviously sex is bad, and it's like the sin of like you're wanting this is so bad. He told me to be the guy to bear the burden of sex. So I will marry your wives. I will sleep with them to protect you from the sin. So it was just like he was married to all of the women there, and like even people who like let's say you and like Anna had a baby, already had a kid, like you came in married for like 8 years, he'd be like, all right, I'm married to her now, and I will bang her. You will not. I will take that burden for you. And like a bunch of them ended up having his kid, and like you got to be a crazy good con man and a great talker to have people be like
something. Daniel, you really think she should be sleeping with her wife?
It's funny. It's funny because like in one of this, towards the end of it, like one of the guys who was like his best friend in it, his wife had just gotten pregnant by him, and like going before this whole thing, like they were struggling to have a kid.
But Mr. Riggins.
So yeah, Coach Taylor,
that Timothy Riggins.
Coach, you can't leave your daughters with him.
Listen here, Riggins.
He does such a good job. He did so well, but they
Mrs. Taylor is not for your liking.
Yeah. Keep your eyes off my wife, Riggins.
I knew I made a mistake.
The writing was on the wall. I mean, when what's her name? Coach Taylor's daughter got drunk at a party, and Riggins saved her and brought her home and like put her on the bed.
Get out of my house.
Yeah, she was drunk and like held him, and he was like, all right, let me go. And he came in, what are you doing, Riggins?
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here.
You don't understand, Coach. You don't understand.
That's like what all that show was, though.
I'm rewatching that show right now.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of it. So I'm like, he's about to play the Panthers now that he's signed with East Dillon. And
the show kind of, I mean,
they don't spoil anything.
No, I'm not. They definitely evolved the show in like a needed way.
It's so
like
badly written. Like
it's just so different from what it was. And
I've also like I know I told you about like everyone has the issue with like, oh no, they were supposed to be seniors in the first season, and then they slowly just got pushed back in grades every year. And then one thing I'm having issues with is halfway, so it'll start the episode with them in the kitchen or something, like the Taylor family, and then it'll cut to them being at school, going about their day. And so in the morning they'll tell the daughter, yeah, you know what, we'll talk about it when you get home tonight, okay? Yep, right, have a good day at school. They'll go to school, do their thing, have their game, go to practice. It'll cut to them, the Taylor parents getting home, saying, oh yeah, she's in bed. Yeah, it's fine. Like, let's talk about our day. And then it'll cut to Riggins, cut back to the family, and it'll be in the middle of the afternoon. And then they'll be like, oh, how was your day, sweetie? It's like, no, you were just at night. You can't cut back to the afternoon.
Yeah, the editing is kind of...
I also found there was a scene where, what's the booster's name? Mr. Garrity.
Yeah.
And Coach Taylor are in the laundry, or in the, they're at a laundromat, and you can see the camera behind Taylor's shoulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like not even, it's like
a reflection or the camera?
No, the actual camera.
Really?
It's
those
really
are fun.
funny.
I really love seeing those.
Because I paused it to make sure, because I was like, it looked like it was empty when they went in.
Yeah.
And like I went back and you can see.
Oh, yeah. So Maddie had never watched it either once. So like we watched the entire thing through, and it was the same thing. It was they fuck up a lot at the Taylor's house.
Yeah.
Because we were watching once, and you could see one of the people in the background, and I think it was like they walked into the hallway, and they were like, and then like quickly backed. I can't remember what else, but it was so funny. We like kept rewatching it, and then we would like jump back to it sometimes just to like relive it. But I love catching those. Shows should leave those in more for a fun little like.
See, but like that. I love the show. I love the story. But they just have so many of those little mistakes, and it's totally makes sense why they had like a writing, like the writing room walked out.
Yeah,
that's why season 2 was cut. But like, I don't know. Do you like the show or the movie better?
I don't know. That's tough. Like the show, I'm more attached to the characters because you have longer with them, and you get to see an actual evolution. I mean, that is the one good thing about the show. Like. Once they realize like who their characters are and like place them in an age, like you said, like they kind of jump things around sometimes, but like once they get them to their lives, it is really good. Like it sucks seeing like Matt Saracen, who is like a great character to me, be like, all right, well now he's going to Chicago, but like that is life. Yeah, like he wanted to be.
I think they do a good job of because they realize that
they make
they've milked Street to the bone, and they realize, okay, like
he was a guy.
There's no more left to this guy. You've seen his ups and downs. Let him go.
Yeah.
And then same with like Smash. It's like, dude, how many times is Smash gonna say he's going to school, not go to school, go to school? Then like let him go. Yeah. And then he goes.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball on characters.
But I think Riggins is the perfect guy because from the beginning it's like. Yeah. Season 1, you're like, okay, Riggins is gonna graduate and go be Riggins after.
Yeah, because
they really grow him, and that's like his character arc's good. So far.
They didn't drop the ball with him like they could have. I think Landry was someone who I think they did really good with until like these newer seasons. They start to kind of like whittle away at what they built.
Well, they give him so like it makes it seem like he's gonna be like the new like head honcho of the series. And then he'll disappear for 2 episodes. Yeah, it's like commit to the kid or not.
He's much bigger now he's still in the situation, but it's the same thing. They pushed him back a year because like originally like him and Matt were in the same grade.
Yeah,
and, like
it doesn't make sense that he was driving when Matt was a sophomore. Yeah, and it doesn't make sense that he's the top of his class. If he was the top of his class, he would have. Yeah, it's not like he couldn't have stayed back.
Yeah, when the show started. The daughter was a freshman, and Landry was had been clearly driving.
I think the daughter was also. So in my interpretation,
she was supposed to be the youngest.
My interpretation was Landry. What's her name? Not June. It's
the blonde. Yeah. I don't know.
Taylor's daughter and Saracen were sophomores. That's how I interpreted it, and then I interpreted everybody else except. Smash as seniors, so Street, Riggins, and Tiara or Kiara? No, Tiara.
No, that's not her name either.
Yes, it is.
The ones
that Landry
Street dated.
No, that Landry dated and Riggins dated.
Yeah, the characters' ages are so all over the place.
Yeah, and then it turns out that they were all sophomores, basically. Yeah. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Street was the only one who was a senior.
Yeah, he is
when
the only...
When they made, like, Lila Garrity seem like a senior, Riggins seem like a senior, and all of a sudden, like,
part of the joke with Saracen was that they were picking on him because he was so young. Yeah. And it also doesn't make sense because they say that, like, oh, Riggins lost his virginity, like, 6 years ago. Would have made him, like, 8 years old. So it's kind of... Like, I know it happens, but, like... Yeah. I don't think anyone in Texas would be like, he's going to be a Panther star.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I mean, the main question... Your question was, like, what do I like? I guess I like this show better. Because it really
There's just so much more of it.
Yeah, there's so much more. But, like... The show never makes me feel what the movie does. Yeah. Like, the movie always brings emotion and affects, like, my day, my afternoon, my night, whenever I watch it. Like, it affects it.
And I also love
the show is, like...
But, like, Mojo. You can't, like... That's such a sick name, Mojo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also gotta love the clear eyes. Or no. Clear eyes.
Full heart.
Full heart can't lose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the movie is so well done. It's just, like, it just all around. Because what's his name? I can't remember his name. The coach, though.
Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Urban Meyer.
But like, I mean, his performance obviously was amazing, but like the writing of just like his speeches, because they were.
See, I love the quarterback in that movie, number 20.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just love that he like is.
He's silent. He's not what you would expect for like a Texas quarterback, like the guy who's supposed to be like the guy in clearly like a big school for Texas where football's
also
huge.
like that they played it old where he is number 20 and not like 12 or something.
Yeah, it is cool to be like, this was my number.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only issue I do have with the show, I mean the movie, is like, it is a movie, so you only have so much time frame. So like they did throw stuff in that like kind of led to nothing. Like, for the quarterback, like, they gave you a peek into his life of, like, his mom not being fully there, like, not healthy and whatever, and also clearly having issues. So his home life's a mess. And then they, like, cut to a scene of him calling his brother and just being like, well, like, I'm here, you left. And, like, well, Pa, and, like, talking about whatever, like, the situation is in the background, giving you some, like, glimpse into it and being like, oh, what's that about? And then you never get anything else about it.
Well, the movie
I get
is older than
like,
the show, right?
What?
The movie's older than the show, right?
Yeah, the show came off of... The movie is based on a true story.
Yeah.
And then the show is just kind of a remake off of it.
Has inspirations.
Yeah.
But I do like that they, like... In that first season, they used, like, he's down on the 1 yard line and, like... Not in the championship game, but, like, you can see where they...
There was the state game.
No. In the first season.
Oh, you're talking about
when
the show?
Saracen's first... Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Have you seen the other side of the Friday Night Lights story? But it dives into the team they lost to. Which is, like, they had... like some obviously really good players, and it became like a bunch of them got like arrested or had like bullshit happen.
Carter High? Is it like a documentary?
Carter High, yes. It's not a documentary, it's just another show. So it's literally the other school that they played, yeah. It's obviously not like to the
Oh no, this was I have seen part of this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was because I watched it was on Netflix, I think. It was on one of those.
It's not like a Netflix original thing.
No, I know it's on Netflix, but it was. I remember watching some of this, and I don't remember getting into it.
Yeah, well, because like budget wise was lower, but because they didn't like dive into the, like they won the game, so like you show the victory, and then you want to show like the downfall. Like I think one of them is like one of their players or like a player's sibling. They like go to a party. And, like, one of them's like, yeah, hold on. I need to do something with the car. And he's, like, sitting in the car.
I remember
Yeah,
this.
some dude just runs up and kills him.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, hell, there was a shooting.
He shouldn't have been there and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they go to, like, a church, or not like a church, but, like, a town meeting. And I do remember this.
Yeah. Sad.
Do you, what is that movie? It's a team in Texas. They have, like... They've gone like 8 years undefeated. Like, it's like, is it true story? They wear green uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of big, like, no Sean Moreno went there. No, not no Sean. Maurice Jones-Drew. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that movie stunk.
When the Game Stands Tall.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wonder what's really good about.
It was trying to be too like campy to me. Like it was too like. Everyone stand up and say what you're thankful for. And it was like, my team.
But wanna know what the best part of Friday Night Lights and the movie and the show is?
What's that?
The gameplay
is amazing.
actually looks real.
Yeah. Well,
with the exception of a few.
I kind of think it is. Like, I bet they just had stuff dudes get fucking rocked.
Well, I bet they had like high school teams
rattled.
like. That's my guess. They had like a high school team film it.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait for when like high schools get a doc.
High schools get a doc?
Yeah.
Envy's not gonna get a documentary.
I'm not saying Envy, I'm saying somebody.
Like who?
I don't know. Anybody, dude. Cuz like
sure
that's a real sweet roller coaster. A high school, and like you don't like do somewhere kind of like New Hampshire. Like don't do Texas, don't do Florida, don't do these like big time schools where you watch it and you're like, I'm just watching college basically. Like you want to see
You're laying down right now.
Yeah. It's cozy. You're jealous.
Did you see that comment? And he was like, why he posted up like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Comments get aggressive sometimes.
I know. Someone told me I have to dress up to film.
I know. That was crazy.
I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like, put some effort in. I was like, bro, you're doing a gaming channel.
Dude, you post Fortnite clips
dude,
only.
You don't
you
even
exclusively
see
post
I don't
Fortnite
even see
clips.
Your face, dude. You're just doing the algorithm, bro.
I know. It would have been one thing if he had like
actual input.
Let's say like he had at least 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
He had 1,000 followers.
I know. I looked at it and I was like, damn, dude, you're critiquing me right now? I know. I kind of want to see it. Because I also was like, how do I want to do this? And I almost was going to be like, I'm going to come at it strong.
I wanted to.
And then I was like, no what?
Because I only saw it last night.
Oh,
I went
really?
through them and looked last night. But then I also saw the other comment where it's like, dude on the right sucks. And I went on his account and it was him unironically dancing. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Hey, y'all need to be dressed to go live. Being in these clothes and not having a subject to talk about won't help you out long term. This is a lazy setup, but you can definitely get better. And I was like, appreciate it.
Yeah, no hate, bro.
Yeah. Good luck, y'all. Sorry, I sounded mean right there. I just wanted to let you know what I see from the clip. No, you're good. And I like rewrote a couple things being like, do I be a dick about it?
I totally
And
would.
I was just like, you know what? No, you don't get anything out of being mean. And it just feeds into it.
Well, I don't think he was mean. I think he was just a fucking idiot. I think it really did come from a good spot. It just, he had no
It just wasn't actual input, though.
I wouldn't, yeah, it was no, like.
Yeah, if they were like, hey, I would visually like this better if it was more like if you guys weren't in pajamas. Like, that would be like, oh, okay, I get it. But just to be like, you should be doing this. This looks lazy. It was like, bro, you're looking at one, like, 20-second clip.
I know. But where is that one that...
You know what my favorite is the sports one?
Oh, and everyone goes nuts?
Where it was like fucking 100 comments of dudes just attacking each other. Holy shit.
Your wife's fat, dog.
I was like, holy, you're a fucking moron. You don't know what you're talking about. It went crazy. What is it? I don't even know.
This is the kid, he was like, guy on the right sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're unironically dancing for TikTok.
Tough look. Yeah. Yeah,
should I comment and be like, guy on the right sucks? Should I?
Yeah, sure. Is he the one on the right, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Just quote.
No, can I say guy on the right sucks? Guy on the right can't jerk.
Quote, guy on the right sucks.
No, no. Gotta let him win.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is my thought. Every time I think of something funny, and I'm like... It's not worth the problem.
No.
I go, because plus...
Because you also know this kid's in high school with 300 friends, and I don't want that issue.
Yeah, you don't want that heat. You're not looking for the
Because I know
baggage.
how ruthless they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to battle a bunch of kids at 1 in the afternoon at work being like, no, you're fucking lame.
Because you know they'll SWAT us.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Imagine that we're filming. Smoke grenade goes off.
It's a nightmare. I
don't think you can beat high school kids in anything nowadays.
No, you just don't bother. Well,
no, I don't think you can. Like,
it's also just not worth the problem.
I just think they're so advanced.
Yeah.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And they know lingo you don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like all the time.
People don't use crying, like the crying laughing emoji for laughing anymore. It's a skull.
Yeah, I use that's what's next to your contact.
Oh.
In my phone, I use the laughing emoji. I use dead sometimes because it's like dead. Ah, ha, ha.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Maddie's sister told us that. And we were like, what? Maddie took being like out of touch so hard she changed the part in her hair. She found out like the middle part was in and the side was like an old thing.
I didn't know she parted her hair down this. When did she do this?
Like a few weeks ago.
I didn't notice.
It became a huge thing. Like when she went home, she was like, "Guys, look, I have my part in the middle now." Because no, it was funny too when I started growing my hair
Joanna parts
out.
her hair in the middle.
Yeah. I just thought it was like what you did. Like when I started to grow my hair and I had it parted in the middle, Maddie was like, "Why is it parted in the middle? That's weird. People don't do that."
Wait,
and I was
where's
like,
your hair part?
In the middle.
No, now.
Right now? Yeah, in the middle.
How do you? I don't understand. Can you have it parted nowhere?
What?
So it just falls?
I don't think so.
So
if it's like slicked back, I guess.
But wouldn't you still have two parts on the side?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think my hair part's like in the back though, like right here.
No,
because my hair goes like this, all down to the sides because it's straight.
It still would. It would still part completely.
My hair doesn't part though.
Oh yeah, because it's short.
To be entirely honest, I don't know what parting it is. Is
That's
it when
right.
there's the line?
Yeah, so like how my hair, like you see the skull.
I don't see your skull.
Not right now, but when my hair's down, you see the skull.
Yeah, I'm losing a lot of hair.
Yeah,
it's very bad.
Well, see what comes first. Because I always thought I thought I was always gonna lose the battle with hair. I thought I was gonna lose my hair before gray, and the grays are.
Oh no, I have a lot of gray.
I have a lot of gray.
I have a lot of gray right here and then right in the front.
Yeah, I have it most right here.
Yeah, right on your right side and then on the top, right? Like
I
no,
get
like right
some.
here.
I get some here, but I yank them.
I don't. I would rather have a gray hair than no hair.
I'd rather have no hair.
Okay.
Currently. Well, it looks. I mean, with short hair, I probably wouldn't care, but with long hair, I feel like I look dumb.
Well, you can't see it with long hair, to be honest.
I see it.
Yeah, I see mine too,
but it's fun when I find a long one, though.
I got a back hair the other day.
It sucks when I find like a really long one, but it's like also fun to be like, gotcha.
I had a huge hair like that long on my shoulder the other day.
Gross.
And I'm not a hairy individual.
That's gross.
In any way. It's just, I don't know.
I had a really aggressive nightmare a couple days ago, and it still hasn't left. Like, you know how we talked about it once of like having nightmares that stick.
Mm-hmm.
This one fucked me up.
I call it TikTok psychologists break this down.
Yeah. Oh man, that was my fear of like what did this mean?
I'll tell you what it means.
I like woke up.
Do you want to call Jo? She's gonna call me in a few minutes anyway. She'll break it down. She's
maybe.
a psychology major.
Me and Maddie had go to a party, not like a big party, but it was like a handful of people, and
like people you know.
Yeah, but like so
not
in
a
the
college party.
In the dream, I knew them, but like I couldn't be like that's this person. So like like made up people. At this house I didn't know, so we're at this house and everyone's like just kind of talking and joking, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get a drink. Do you want anything? And she's like, no. And I'm like, does anyone else want anything? No. Okay. Although all the drinks are downstairs, so it's kind of like how Brittany and Ashley's house was, where like the living room, you have to go down those stairs, the basement.
One whose house I love.
Whose?
Uncle Richie's old house.
Yeah.
Such a cool house.
Yeah, it was nice. No privacy though to like rooms. Like every door, like every room was so big, but it was like because there were no walls, so everything's so open, like bedrooms and everything.
Do you remember the kitchen?
Kinda.
Kitchen was cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I go down to the basement, and it's like kind of how this is like one finished room. I go in there, and it's like pretty dark in there, and no one's in there, but they have like a bar in there, like one of those house bars people build.
A house bar?
Yeah. So
one of the house bars people build.
So I go to this like mechanical monkey that you're supposed to order. So like I put $1 in something in it, and I'm like trying to get what I want, and it's not working. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do I do? And I'm looking around, no one's in there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Jack Nicholson appears.
So I'm like looking
Hello,
around,
Mr. Torrance.
and then I turn, and there's 3 people behind the bar, and I was like, oh fuck! But like they were people that were upstairs. So I'm like, what the hell? Oh, geez, I didn't realize anyone else came down here. Like, no one was here a minute ago, whatever. And I was like, hey, can I get this? And they're like, yeah. Two of them are like just looking and talking to me, and the third one is just sitting there like
the Smile movie.
Yeah,
Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. It could have been better, but so they were like kind of looking at me, but they were like gray, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I'm like waiting there, and it's so uncomfortable, and I turn, and like it's like a bedroom, so like the closet had a mirror to it. One of the, you know what I mean, like the sliding door mirrors for closets, and I look, and it's me, the two people at the bar, and the third person isn't there. So I turn and look, and they're still there, just like.
Yeah.
And then I look, and they're not at the mirror, and I was like, no! And I bolted. I just bailed. I ran upstairs like.
Were you fast in the dream though?
Yeah. Like, I bolted out of there. I ran so
fast. So it wasn't like
fast.
Nowadays where you roll?
I bolted, and I'm, like, falling up the stairs, and I come running up, and everyone's, like, in the living room. And they're like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. So I look in the mirror, and it's only two people. Like, no one's, they're not there. I don't know what the fuck that was. And I'm, like, trying to explain it to people, and they're like, what the and, like, they think I'm joking at first. They think I'm doing something. And they're like, haha. And I'm like, I'm not fucking around. Like, what the fuck was that? I'm, like, all freaked out. And then everyone's like, oh, like, realizing it's not a joke. And, like, there's a mirror on the wall, and I see it, and I go, no, and I, like, fucking break down. I'm just like,
there's a mirror?
Yeah, and I was, like, shivering, because I'm like, oh my god, like, there's something now in the mirror. I'm, like, now scared of the mirror, and they're like, oh my god, like, this is super real. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm, like, so scared, and, like, now I'm hearing other people's conversation, like, is there actually something downstairs? Like, what the fuck? Like, he's actually clearly super, like, messed up right now. Like, he can't be near mirrors. And then, like, I kind of calm down, and I'm sitting, and then I look at the couch across from me, and it's two of the people that were downstairs sitting there. And I'm, like, just looking at them, and it hits me of, like, wait, you guys were up here the whole time, right? And they were like, huh? Yeah. And they're like, I was like,
so
you guys.
They weren't down there either.
I was like, you guys didn't come downstairs? And they were like, no. And I just did the same thing. Like, I fucking panicked.
So you had like a doppelganger.
Yeah.
In the dream.
Yeah. So it was like I was so scared of the thing I couldn't see the reflection for that I didn't even comprehend the fact that, like, the other two were also not, like, something else. But were able to communicate and, like.
What would have happened if you got the drink they were giving you?
I know. So I freaked out even more. And then I, like, woke up at, like, 1 a.m. from this dream. And I was like, and I was like fucking.
Cold sweat.
I was like panicked. And then I was like, I stayed up another half hour because I'm like, I'm not going back to sleep.
I bet you didn't look in the mirror on your door.
No, I was very freaked out. Like, that morning I was, like, really not cool. Like, it still kind of fucked me up. Like, that next day, like, I was really not, like, comfortable around a mirror.
What would you do when you woke up 4 in the morning, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and you're not there?
It was very fucked up. It was very scary. I mean, that was part of my fear is, like, and that's why I stayed up, because I was like, I don't want this to be, like, a continuing dream. You know, you go to sleep sometimes and it's just like, resume.
See, I would have liked that.
I didn't want that. It
like
really fucked me up.
dreams.
It really fucked me up. I was not okay with it.
I love scary dreams.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah.
So what do you think that means?
I have no idea.
Are you a person that thinks dreams mean something?
I don't know, sometimes. There's some that do, but other times I think they're just kind of like, whatever. My only thing was, like, I think maybe the mirror thing, I mean, the doppelganger stuff, like, I find really scary in general.
Have you seen the doppelganger TikToks?
Oh, yeah, I think
just
so.
Just the creepy sound and, like,
yeah.
Then they're, like, smiling in the hallway and it's like,
Yeah. But in Yellow Jackets, the show we watched, one of them, like, has that happen to her. Like, the mirror, like, she'll move and the mirror just stays looking at her, like.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that's where it came from. But it was a really bad time.
Like these.
If you are inside your home with the lights out, do not look outside your window. Turn on your lights before you look through any window. Do not leave your home If you see a figure
That's not a
outside,
good one.
even if he
Well,
is
that's
turned
not-
away, do not look at him. Lock all doors and windows before turning off all lights inside your residence. Hide in a small space and call authorities. Do not move from hiding unless you hear an unfamiliar voice. If you do hear a familiar voice coming from inside your home, do not move. He is inside. He is inside. He
This is a
is
good one.
inside.
No.
There haven't been many good like doppelganger movies.
No, I think that's a really like niche, like not a niche, one you don't really see a lot. Like it's really not like a thing I really knew about until like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think Jordan Peele's movie, I
Oh,
think
that
really
counts,
brought
that
it to
counts, yeah.
light. That's like if you like Google doppelganger, like I think that's one of the first things that pop up.
Mm-hmm. No.
But that shit's like that's the scariest fucking thing in the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's so creepy. Cuz it's like if you just find one story that like if that is real, like that it makes it likely for it to happen to you. Like it could happen. Just like coming down here to like grab a camera or do something,
And there's
and to
just someone,
see like,
yeah.
or like the doors open in there, which
Mhm.
like we always keep these doors closer. Like what the fuck? Oh, let me make sure Ron didn't leave the heater on. Open it, and it's just like in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely not. He would be the worst person for it to be too, because he shows no emotion.
Mm.
Just like when you look, like if you pass him,
Mm-hmm.
there's no emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But like imagine him just like,
Yeah. Yeah. I know we told it when Rob was here, but like one of the stories like we heard on like the podcast thing we listened to is like where they she like saw her dad
mm-hmm.
and like she's in her room in the basement, the dad comes down and was like changing a light bulb and she's like, what the fuck, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
He just like looks at her like, what are you doing? And like it's a bad vibe. And then he leaves and then like asks and was like, I never came downstairs last night. What are you talking? Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's so fucked up. It's
Like
so
like,
creepy.
That's like exactly what Rob's story was.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a guy who should be doing something.
Something
Like something like this because like that's any like the clips, I think on like all the clips posted about it like
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, like TikTok, all of them, like someone commented and was like, I want more real stories like this. This is
Yeah.
crazy. But he's also someone
He's
who didn't fucking know it was weird.
He thought it was normal. He thought everyone heard
Yeah, he
their
was
mom
just
at night.
like, yeah, he just thought it was like something that happened.
Man, those demons try to get me again.
Mhm. Yeah. I think I'd want anything else in the world to happen to me except.
Do you remember how you used to walk around with like? So we talked about this the other day. How you sleep, how you used to like tortilla
Mhm.
yourself. Do you remember how you'd also walk around with a blanket like that? I remember one night. This is probably not too long before I let the person in our house in Salisbury. Have we talked about that on here?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm sitting in the couch in the corner of the living room, and how you can see all the way down to the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when your room was above the garage.
Yeah.
So you must have came from the garage into the dining room and up that hallway towards the living room because the TV was on or something.
Yeah.
And you stopped right before the stairs. And you must have like a white or gray blanket, and it looked like this long dress. And even though the house was only a few years old, I was always under the impression because of the wallpaper, that it was like a Victorian age
A
house.
very old house.
And
yeah.
it was like, oh, there was definitely a woman like who got killed, and like,
Mm-hmm.
you had like a long white dress on. And I was like,
Yeah.
and you slowly just came closer. I was like, hello? And you just stood there. And you
Yeah.
came closer. And it was like, all of a sudden, it was
Yeah.
you. It was like the whole time it looked like a woman. But then as soon as like you passed like the stairs, like it was you. It was so weird.
I can't imagine the like fear you had of that house because like you were in elementary school.
And I was there all alone all the time.
Well, like I was.
That's pretty much why Grammy moved in.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared.
Well, like it was a really creepy house, like especially at night, because
Yeah.
it's like
You couldn't have the
we're
lights on.
so isolated.
Yeah.
We always left the farmer porch lights on,
Mm-hmm.
but it like That's that shit that only made it creepier because you only see like
A few feet.
5
yeah.
feet into the grass
Mm-hmm.
around.
And there's always animals outside.
And yeah, it's in the middle of the woods, and we had like a small little like pond thing,
Mm-hmm.
so you'd hear like crickets and frogs and like water noises.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was just like dense darkness,
Mhm.
and it was just like it was such a big like pretty empty house.
The layout is very similar to
Any
the
creepy
Scream,
movie.
the
Yeah.
opening Scream movie.
Yeah,
Because you have the kitchen
yeah,
with the glass door right around the corner. You have the front
yeah.
door.
Going out there,
And then you have the other
going-
door on the other side of the house. So it's very similar to that.
going to the kitchen at night there was so creepy
because
because
it's
it
all
was
glass.
just glass, and like again like that lighting too like didn't let you
Yeah.
see
and
anything.
half the time you'd see eyes there because
Yeah.
Jake's outside the door
Yeah.
just looking at you.
Wow. Yeah, it was a really creepy house,
But like, I was there,
and
that's
it was
why-
very noisy too. Like
yeah.
the
if you
every
walked.
step you could
And it was
hear.
it was only like 5-10 years old when we
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah, it was really cheaply built though. Like
yeah.
you could
like there was
see it.
creeks
Yeah.
like every time you walked there was like a little
Mm-hmm.
even though it wasn't even like wood floors all the way around.
It added to it was a really weird because it's like it was a thing where like you could hear everything, but at the same time you wouldn't.
Mhm.
Like
it
you
was so much
couldn't-
silence that you heard.
you heard everything, but at the same time, like certain sections of the house you would never hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
So which like just built to the silence that you didn't hear.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd
I
be
can't
like,
imagine. I could have
what am
never
I
lived above
not
the garage
hearing?
because you're so far from everyone.
Yeah, it was creepy. Yeah.
I was always like I always had this.
It was
like,
really creepy too because there were 2 doors. Like you'd come down the stairs and it would be the garage,
Mhm.
and then like a side door where it was just like a stretch hallway.
I forgot there was a door at the end. Of
Yeah,
there.
so you were like, and then you as soon as you turn right, then you just see the far kitchen glass.
Yeah.
So like instantly you're just like, and you have to go through
And you had to go through all these
2 or
this-
3.
2
You have to go
rooms.
through 2 rooms that like easily someone could hide behind.
You had the 2 rooms, the
hallway,
hallway,
a
the bathroom, the
bathroom.
closet, the kitchen, the living room.
Yeah,
It's like
it was a very. It was the most like thing where you like really,
Mhm.
really like.
and don't forget you also had when you came down the stairs and you looked down the hall, there was a door, but then there was also a door to your left that was a storage area.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the most going back, like walking to it, you're like
Mhm.
so like looking at every step, but on your way back you just
Fly through.
yeah,
it, right?
you're trying to beat Usain Bolt's record.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get
And we
there
had-
as quick.
That's definitely a house to have nightlights. We had none.
Yeah.
Like you need a nightlight.
Yeah.
I also like so whenever we would drive in at night. So this I think it was a nightmare I had where we were driving and I looked up at like the penthouse and there was a woman in like in the window.
Yeah.
So every time we drive in at night, I would look up at the windows to see if there's anyone standing in any of those big windows.
Yeah.
I don't know how you lived up there either because there were so many closets. Like
I didn't really ever use them.
yeah,
so,
but someone could have been in one of the like
yeah.
because you had the bathroom, the far closet, and the closet right behind where your bed was.
Yeah.
And that had like a crawl space.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really use it.
Sketchy house.
Mhm.
Sketchy house.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful house.
Yeah.
Like
It was perfect for like the situation. Like it was really fun like living there in general sometimes because like everyone was there. But
mhm. But like that's why because Grammy didn't move in when we moved in. It was a while after
No.
because I was home alone. I was like, I'm not staying here by myself.
yeah, it was just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
6. Sorry, 6 of us.
Yeah, Brandon was there too.
Yeah, 6 of us, and then Brandon left.
And then and then
And
Graham
then-
came when Brandon left. So you went to above the garage and she went in the penthouse.
Yeah,
What a great idea to put the old lady on the top floor.
yeah.
Bunch of
Wanted her own
assholes.
space, but
I know.
you got to go through a bunch of flights. Whatever.
And you always had to go with her up the stairs.
Yeah. You had to like walk her up. Yeah. I saw like an equivalent of that feeling though, like in public. Last week or whenever I went to the bar. Maddie's like sister and their friends.
When did you do? Oh, when you were supposed to come.
Yeah.
What was Joanna and I doing? We were.
I don't know.
You were supposed to meet
have
us.
a fire.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a fire. You said you're gonna leave in 10 minutes. You didn't get back.
Well,
till
you just
midnight.
wouldn't answer. You'd be like, maybe. Yeah, sure.
No,
if you
we
want.
started the fire and you said we're leaving in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we had the fire. I brought her home, and while I was bringing her home, you got home.
Yeah. So
it took you 3 hours to get home after saying you're leaving in 10 minutes.
yeah. Well, so part of the issue was also like, it started with like just me and like one of the other guys that was there watching this guy, who would just like would not leave this girl alone. Like these three girls were like,
Sorry, my bad.
Footloose was like playing when we first got there, and they were like,
Where was this?
the goat. Yeah. I wasn't thrilled about going, but
I haven't been there.
I hadn't been there at all. I was there once when it was Manch Vegas, and that was like garbage. But it's a nice place. Like it's very nice. But so yeah, like these girls are dancing while people are like trying to walk by. So it's like they're doing, and it was like not the like, oh sorry, go ahead. Like just they kept doing their move while people were trying to walk by, so they're in the way. It was like, that's so annoying. But so one of them was in like a pink spandex, and this guy wouldn't like leave her alone. Like he was just like dancing, trying to dance with her like every fucking song possible. Mm-hmm. So it was like to the point where you were like, dude, like she's not into it. Like she would dance with him a little bit, and then she would like, okay, and then like dance with her friend to like get out of it. And he like would just linger around, and then once like the next song would come, he'd be like tap her and turn her and spin her and like try and get her attention with it. So we were like, I like couldn't stop watching this. It was so like, ugh, like dude, like get the hint, like just move on, bro. It's a game about numbers. Like that's you got evicted from that house, man. Just move on.
Oh, I cannot wait for Big Brother.
Next one, dude. Next one. Keep going. And it was literally just like an hour and a half, 2 hours of this. Like he didn't get the hint.
Yeah.
And so he was with his one friend who's like, I think maybe doing the same thing, but had better luck. Like this girl was into him. So anytime like his girl would bail on him and he would see his buddy like dancing and getting moves, he would like jump in the middle of it. Like, if I can't get anything, you ain't getting anything kind of vibe. Where one point, like, oh man, it was so bad. It was so awful. I saw him go for a kiss. Yeah. And it was like, not like, all right, like the vibe was there. Go take your shot. It was, she had already bailed multiple times, and it was just like, he was throwing a Hail Mary off. Like he would force the spin again,
and then he would like pull her in.
And he pulled in close and went in for a kiss, and she was like if this is him and coming in, she was like, oh.
Matrix.
Yeah, and right away I was like, oh. And one of the other girls was like, and I was like, you saw that right? Someone else saw that right? And like one other person or two other people were like, oh my god. Everyone just saw him go for that, right? So it was like half of us saw it, and the other half were
everybody was watching him.
Yeah, we ended up, like, the whole group kind of ended up started to watch it, because we were like, dude, gross. And then
How old was he?
Maybe a few years older than me.
Oh.
Old enough to...
Not a good look.
No. Old enough to get the hint of, like, bro, next. But he was also, like, clearly somewhat drunk, too.
That doesn't matter.
No, I know. But it was just like, dude, get the hint. So half of us saw it, and the other half was like, fuck. But as soon as he got that, like, he got curved pretty hard. Like, he got the hint and moved on. But it was better because, like, 5 minutes later, his buddy got a kiss.
Oh.
And as soon as he saw it, he jumped into the middle of it and, like, broke it up.
No, what an asshole.
Yeah. So we were like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, guys, what the hell? And then we saw him a couple times try and move on to get someone new. Yeah. And then like the pink girl like pulled his attention. Like she did it like a couple times of being like, she'd see him and be like, and like want some moves. But it was so funny to see him be like, all right guys, he moved on. Like she's free. And like she didn't have anyone's attention, and he was right there. So she's like,
yeah.
And then right away he started grinding up on her. And as soon as she like was like, all right, I got his attention again. She bailed.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
I'm trying to find. I saw. A
It was
video.
so bad though. Oh.
So this isn't the exact one. It's the same situation, but someone else's angle. So this guy has spent the whole night working with the courage to go talk to this girl, and this girl right here.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
And look, shoot, ready? Puts her ready.
Yeah.
Block. Lead blocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look at who it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
did you see the last like little picture?
Yeah.
And all the comments, the first one, it didn't have that clip, and all the comments were like, Patrice Joy, Alabama State, left tackle.
I think you're just being a good friend. Next thing you know, it's the internet's getting you.
Yeah, she probably was being a good friend too.
Yeah.
Her friend was probably drunk.
She just And how many times like guys have come up and like grinded with her, and
But it's
she's
always,
just trying to protect her friend.
But it's always that girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Leave her alone. It's Nova in a couple years. Leave her alone.
Listen here, you imbecile.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah. It did make me miss about going out was like watching people. It was like some people like mention it. They were just like, all you're doing is watching people. I was like, yeah, this is why you go out. I was like, if you're not going out to make friends or like get drunk, I'm like, it's just watching people, watching situations.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do when we go out. If we go to a restaurant, I'm looking at the storylines that are going on around me. And it was like, oh man, it was so fun. And then like, I think a couple days later, someone at work showed me, they released this footage of some kid that got shot outside the goat. And I was like, oh fuck, this is why I don't go out anymore.
Yeah, no, not in Manchester.
I was like, oh fuck, that's so sad. Fuck, it could have been me.
I know.
There's so many times where like we'd be out and like we'd go to the Pint, we'd hang out outside at like 12 o'clock till like 12:40, and right next to it was McGarvey's, and all it was like it was an Irish pub, so all it was like dudes in Chicago Bulls hats like fighting.
Yeah.
So it'd be like we'd be outside, and it was like the one time like, because like the best thing about going out with X was like, it was a good and a negative. Where like if anyone like started some shit, like X would just come out of nowhere and just boom, motherfucker. Like he didn't give a fuck.
Even if X got his ass kicked, he's gonna get up laughing.
Yeah, he'd be fucked up and he'd be like, "Fuck you, buddy."
See that one hit I got?
Yeah. But that's also the negative of being like, if he fucking sees this wrong
Because if
situation.
X gets his ass kicked,
Yeah.
everybody else is getting their ass kicked too.
But there's tons of times where like we'd be out and some guy would talk some shit and I'd talk some shit and it would be just like a funny thing. It'd be like, nah, what you good? There's so many times where X would be like, the fuck was that? You want to fight? And you're like, no, dude, that's not the situation. Chill out.
Exit.
Yeah. So you'd have to like navigate the situation, make sure it didn't get there. But it was like one time. So it's like, it is nice if something does pop off like that. You're like, I know no matter what. Like, and we did have that agreement. If that ever happens, like, all right, if I see that's happening to you, I'm coming in. We had that agreement, but it was like one time me and one of the other friends we'd hang out with, we were just like sitting outside and we were having like a pretty good conversation. It was, I think it was deep, and we were just talking, and then we hear like, fuck you, bitch, motherfucker, and we look over. No, they're all inside. It was just the two of us. No one else is outside, which was weird for the Pint. And we look, and then McGarvey's all of a sudden fucking like 15 dudes come all barreling out, just boom, 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 like massive mosh pit of fighting. And we're like,
Joanna was saying
yo,
that.
fuck him up. And then like the fight kept going until like a bodyguard was like, don't fucking do it out here. Go fucking down the road.
Bodyguard, a bouncer?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. A
bodyguard?
A bodyguard was like, stop.
Looks like the principal from Ned Z Classified.
Yeah. And they ended up like dispersing like from down this, like they'd separate from the streets. So one sidewalk to the other. But they just kept talking shit to each other, and we're going in the same direction. So, like, going down the street, they're like, fuck you, motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. And it went on for a couple minutes, and then me and him, like, turned to each other, and we were like, oh, we probably shouldn't have been talking shit at that. Like, that easily could have ended with, like, someone having a gun and, like, us just catching a bullet, like, in the
Yeah.
in the background. We're
See-
like, fuck.
The big bar in Amherst that all the kids go to, Spoke. Joanna was telling me that some of her teammates were there, like the seniors, and they had to close the bar because a group of guys beat up the bouncers.
Yeah.
And by the time the fight was over, the bouncers were all hurt, so they closed the bar because they absolutely pummeled these dudes. That's job is to kick people out. Joanna said that there was a clip of this guy dragging a bouncer by his feet into the street. It was
That's
like
fucked up.
Like it's insane. Like why
That's
at
sad.
no point do you need to get to that level.
Honestly, like, I mean, obviously there are some like shitty bouncers, but like,
yeah,
it's our main bar to go to was the Moose,
yeah.
and the bouncer there was so sick. Like, he was clearly a weird kid in school, but he was like big. And
Dude, I wish I was big like that.
we would like talk to him and like joke around and be like, yo, check this person ID, check them. And like he ended up, we go there so much where like you just befriend him, and he would like, he once like showed up. We were like, dude, what are you even gonna do if some shit happens? Like, you ain't gonna do
Yeah,
anything.
for
Fuck
something.
off. And he was like, what are you talking about? And like was telling us like a couple stories, and then was like, but dude, like, you can't handle anything that actually happens. And he would like start pulling out knives and random shit. He'd like show us random fucking weapons. Yes, and we're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But he would be like, it became the thing where like we reacted to it. We're like, sick, bro. We're like, every time we come, we'd be like, what's up, guys? What's up? And then he'd be like, yo. And we're like, dude, stop.
We went to this party once too, and I was looking at all the door guys, and I was like, even like, for me to be able to say I could take one of these guys, that's saying something, right? Because I'm not like gonna overestimate, be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck up this guy who's 6'6". Like, he was tiny, and I was like, why are these guys on door duty? And then like they kick someone out, and they're arguing, and the people are walking down the street, and they start coming back. The guy on door duty pulls his hands out of his pockets. He's wearing gloves with fucking metal all over his hand, and like there's like a sharp piece right here so he can hit it. And I was like, yeah, all right, never mind.
There's
Like
tips.
right as I was about to talk shit, like and tell Rob like I could take this motherfucker.
There's tricks.
The dude pulls out like not like gloves with like brass knuckles and like blades into his glove.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's what he did. He would have like brass knuckles on him and shit, and he'd be like,
Brass knuckles are illegal, right?
illegal?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh well. There's no law for the bodyguards.
Dude, what would be your go-to weapon as a bouncer?
Probably be brass knuckles.
I think you got to get the brass knuckle with the knife.
I think you're asking to like accidentally cut yourself.
No, that's dude with the little finger grippies.
Yeah, but you're not gonna wear that the entire time. You're not gonna be like,
It's
let me
like
see
the,
your ID.
What's
Yeah, you're good.
fuck.
But it has to
You
be in
sneeze.
your pocket, so when you go to take it out, like, you got to be careful where the blade is.
Well,
You can't be like,
what's the,
what's that oh, fuck.
What's that? The dude from Naruto who he had both of the.
Kakashi.
No, it wasn't Kakashi. It was,
it was.
Shikamaru's.
Oh, you're right.
He had the brass knuckle kunais.
Yeah.
Or no, chakra blades. That's what they called it.
Yeah, he ended up making them bigger.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, those were so
Yeah.
sick. That's
Yeah.
definitely a go-to weapon.
Yeah, it's a strong move for sure.
Either that, or if I was in like a legit like mosh pit, my go-to would be a chain.
What are you, like a Batman villain?
Yeah, dude.
Like a
Boom!
biker?
Dude, think
gang?
about how bad that would hurt.
Huh.
Or like a barbed wire bat.
Yeah.
A
Mm.
barbed wire metal bat.
Well, I think just a bat in general.
I think a barbed wire, because like even if you just like graze them in the arm, they're getting cut to shit.
Yeah, I guess.
And like if it has a little bit of rust on it, you get the lasting effect too.
I almost needed a bodyguard at Dairy Queen last night.
Of course, it
Not a bodyguard, a bouncer.
would. For what?
I just had a freak out.
In Dairy Queen?
Almost.
Inside of Dairy Queen.
Almost.
You went inside of Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Why?
So Maddie was like, I want one of those blizzards. And on the app, if you make like an account, you get like 80 cents. It's like 80 cents for a blizzard.
The Blizzard, they're not that much. They're like
They're
$4.
like $5.
They're not that bad.
Yeah, they are.
No.
$5.
If you get the receipt, you get a free mini Blizzard.
Oh. Well, this was a small blizzard for
Okay.
80 cents.
And that's okay.
So, but it was only one per customer. So I was like, we're going inside. I'm not going through the drive-thru and being like, can I get one? All right, and then a second order. I'm going to do it separately. So I was like, we're going inside. we pull into the parking lot, and there's a dude just have all of his truck doors wide open, getting his kids in the truck. And I'm waiting to back into the spot, and I'm just watching this, and he's just like not fucking moving. And I like the door that was open wasn't the one he was at, like wasn't the problem. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? Like, you're just not gonna move it. I waited there maybe a full minute, and I was like, I'm not fucking waiting anymore. So I move. I park in a different spot. So as soon as we're starting to walk across the road for it, he's leaving now, and I'm like, I'm not getting to the sidewalk. I'm gonna fucking stand on this road as long as possible. Like, I was already like kind of bitter about it, so inconvenience him a little bit. We go to the door, it's locked. The door, the thing on the says after 8 p.m. come through this other door. I was like, all right, fine. Come around, go inside. There's 2 guys waiting in there. So we go to the counter, and this girl's just like highlighting receipts, and she just like ignores us for a little bit. And she's like, are you all set? Like, what do you do? Are you good? And Maddie was like, we're going to order? She's like, through the app? What? And we were like, no, we're just going to order. And she's like, this is closed. And we were like, what? She's like, the lobby's closed. We close at 8. It's like 8:10. So like, I get it. It's past 8 o'clock. But then, like, don't fucking...
I think they close at 8, though.
No. It said they closed at, like, 10.
Okay.
The lobby closed at 8. So I was like, what the... I was like, are you fucking serious? So we go inside. We go back outside. And, like, I'm just overreacting. That's all it is. So I'm just like... What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Just what the fuck?
Okay, Jen.
You
can't
can't
call Comcast next and yell at them.
Yeah, I was like, you can't just fucking take my 4 quarters for this. Like, I have to go through the drive-through. What's the fucking big deal? And like, so I'm starting to get annoyed. And Maddie's like, it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, you're not doing this. Why do you? Don't give me your input. I was like, don't.
This isn't your deal, bitch.
I was like, you're the one who can't go through a drive-through. You don't like talking in a drive-through. So I don't need to hear you say it's not a big deal. I was like, no, don't do that. I was like, it's just annoying. Because now I have to go, can I get 1 Blizzard? And then for a second order, can I get another Blizzard?
You always preface it with, I have 2 orders.
I didn't do that.
That's how you preface it.
So I got to the thing, and I go, can I get 2 small Blizzards? And she was like, it's going to be fine. I was like... I don't need input right now. I was like, I don't need input. I'm already doing it. It's whatever. We get there, and I go, I have this. So she scans it. So one is 80 cents, and then the other one. So she's like, all right, it'll be like 6 whatever. And then I give her my card, and Maddie goes, what? And I go, don't do this. Don't. I get it.
You have ice cream at home, man.
And she was like, so we started driving. She was like, I don't get why you couldn't do that. I go, because then I would have had to make this whole thing of saying, oh, well, actually, I said 2, but like, I'm going to scan this for 1. And then actually, so the other one's going to be a second order. I was like, I didn't want to deal with it. I'm just going to pay for the other one. And she's like, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So I was like, it's for the person not doing it. I don't want to hear it. So it was just like, I overreacted, and then like any input.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need... So it just, like, was something I instantly... So then I started driving home, and I was sitting in my head for a second, and I was like... And I was, like, trying to... When you're frustrated...
Send her a Venmo request for the $6.
So I was just, like... In my head, I was, like... You know how you're just, like... When you're so mad about something that you know is stupid, but you're like, no, like, I'm justified. So you're trying to stay mad. It literally, at one point, I go... In my head, I was like, fuck, why am I mad again? And then I was like, oh, this reason. And then, like, after a couple minutes of, like, thinking about it, I was like, wait, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
I, like, just made up something else that I was mad about that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, fuck, I know I'm wrong. Fuck.
See, one of my things like that is, like, when I'm driving somewhere that I'm not really familiar with, I get so I need to have maps up. Even if I have an idea of where I'm going, I want to know where my next turn is in advance. I want to know where I'm parking in advance. I don't know. It's just an anxiety. Not because I'm worried anything's going to go bad. It's just like an OCD kind of thing.
Yeah, you just want to be prepared.
Yeah, I want to be prepared. I don't care if the next turn's in 10 miles. I want to know that the next turn is in 10 miles. So if Joanna is in the passenger seat and she turns off the maps, why'd you do that? Oh, because we have a little bit of time. So I don't care if there's time. Can I
Like,
I
she
have
ended the trip, or she just got out of the screen?
like she'll end the trip, or if we're getting close to it and it's like within a mile or half mile, I want it up so I can see.
Yeah, I leave it on the whole time. Yeah.
Or she'll be like, just do this. I'm the one driving. It's my way.
Yeah. My big issue used to be when my temperature got changed. Because, like, you know how we can do dual? So it's like, mine's this one, but yours is this.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hate when that would happen.
You would hate that it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would piss me off. Because then, like, for the next week, I would drive with 2 different temperatures coming out.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, just change them to my side. Don't fucking do that. Or fix it, or, like, put them back to dual.
That's pretty irrational.
Yeah, it was pretty annoying. But it was, like, it was one of those small things, but...
See, it drives me nuts when she'll go, I'm cold. Just change the frickin' heat then. I don't need to do it for you.
Oh.
Or I'm hot. Okay, turn the AC on. I'm cold.
Yeah.
Turn the heated seat on. How do I do it? You know how to do it. Don't act fucking shy.
Yeah. I hate being told to afterwards. It's like when I'm like, I was just leaving you alone because I could tell. And I was like, that just gets me going again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get the demon going.
You wouldn't like me when I'm mad.
Nine-tailed fox, let's go. Let's obliterate this bitch. Yeah.
You should have seen Mom at fucking Popeyes.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Dude, I hate going places with Mom.
Yeah.
If it has anything to do with food, do not go with Mom.
Yeah,
Or if there's anything to do wrong with cable or Netflix, any kind of subscription is charged wrong or there's an issue with it, you don't want to be in the same room.
Yeah. When I saw you guys were leaving, I almost was going to go because I was just like, I kind of feel like just going.
No.
But I was like, then thought about it and was like, this isn't going to be a quick trip. I go, this is never a quick thing.
No.
It's either going to be like, we're going to stop here, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Or something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, she had no idea where Popeyes was.
That's even funnier.
So she wanted to pull into, like, Shaw's. I was like, no, it's straight. Keep going.
Oh.
Because it's right across from Dick's.
Yeah. Part of my freak out, though. Okay, so this is the other underlining issue I had with my freak out.
You took a wrong turn, didn't you?
No. Earlier in the day, we ordered food, and she wanted, what's it called?
Five Guys?
No. Rap City, bitch.
Mom?
No,
Mom did?
Maddie.
'Cause I saw Mom had a Rap City bag.
No, so that was part of Maddie's order. She got like a bunch of chips, so she gave that to her. But so she got Rap City, bitch, and I was like, "You can get that. You can get Rap City, bitch. I'm gonna get Five Guys."
She got Chipotle.
So, but I didn't know where it was.
It's right next
Well,
to
so
Chipotle.
she had it up on her thing. So I go, okay, what we'll do is, like, Five Guys takes longer. So I'm like, all right. What we'll do is we'll go get yours and then go get mine. They're both on Loudon Road. And we had stuff from Goodwill. So we were like, maybe we can drop it off on our way. She's like, well, it's like 3 minutes away. I was like, okay, fuck it. We'll just do it later. It's not a big deal. I don't care about having this shit in my car. And instead, I get off, like, at the, by Market Basket, Shaw's, and Uno's.
Mm-hmm.
And go up. Didn't realize Rap City is all the way by
On the other
Chipotle.
end. Yeah.
So I go literally all the way fucking down Loudon Road. Not really. I could have just gone Mountain Road and then came down and then went to Five Guys. I was like, we went halfway down there and I was like, where the fuck is this?
Did she not know either?
No. She had it up on her maps. Or like she had an idea, but she didn't realize it. So like I get
She
there.
couldn't tell by like
I don't
7
know.
miles.
I don't know. It was also like, I don't know. She also didn't want me to have a
freak
out moment.
So she knew
Because she was like,
beforehand?
she didn't want to tell me how to do it and me be like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But so we got there, we're about to turn in there, and I was like, well, I wish I knew it was on the exact opposite end. Like,
Yeah.
we went by mine to get to yours.
Mhm.
I was just like, this was so inconvenient.
Wasted gas.
Yeah, this could have been such an easy trip. We could have got mine, got yours, and then gone Mountain Road. And she was like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know. I just figured you had it all planned out. And I was like, I didn't know where this was. How could I plan something I didn't know? And I was just like, no, don't do that. I was like, in my head, I was like, just chill out, dude.
relax.
Yeah. Let me out. I was like, don't freak out. And then the Nine Tails was like, Josh, she deserves it.
You need to star in the next Mask movie.
Let's fucking take her out.
I went to a
That was just a big freak out
breakfast
day.
place the other day with Joanna, and I love this breakfast place, so I'm not gonna shit on it, so I'm not gonna say its name.
Okay.
But they call your name at the counter and you go up and get it. And typically, they have very good service. I love their GM. Like he's a cool guy.
Okay.
And just the woman calling the name, or high school girl calling the name, had the worst fucking attitude. And was real, like it was on a script. It was have a great day. Like wouldn't look at you, was slamming stuff. Was she called my name once because she put the wrong ticket on an order, and I said, "Hey, I think you have the wrong smoothies." She goes, "What's your name?" I said, "Cam." She goes, "Your order will be right up." And I was like, "You just said my name. Is this my order or not?" She goes, "I'll call your name in a minute." And I was like, "All right." And like, I'm not at all for giving employees a hard time when they're having a bad day, or like even when they mess up. Whatever, everyone has a bad day. But this one woman went up 3 different times because her order was messed up, and it was driving this teenage girl nuts. Because the first time the girl goes up, so she ordered a sandwich on like multigrain bagel, right? She goes up, says, "Hey, this isn't toasted." She goes, "Okay, I'll remake that for you, ma'am."
She remade it. She didn't just toast it.
No, because it was all like it was like something melted together. She can't take it apart. So she remakes it.
I would just had the whole thing thrown.
And she doesn't yell the girl's name. She goes, "Remake." And the woman comes up and goes, "Thank you. I'm so sorry about that, ma'am. Have a great day." The girl goes back. She comes back. She goes, "This is on multigrain bread, not a bagel." He goes, "I'll remake that for you right now." So they remake it. Comes back. She goes, sits down. She comes back. She goes, "Yeah, this isn't toasted." And she came up one other time right as we were leaving. I was like, I want to see this girl cry. Because she had an attitude to every single person. I was like, and the woman was so nice about it. She didn't give her a problem. Like, she paid for what she wanted, so I get that she wanted it how she wanted it.
Yeah.
But this is also the same girl that got, everything was organic. So, like, you can imagine how she looks. And it was just so fun.
There's like a specific kind of person that like consistent, like Nate Bargatze has that joke where he's like, I went to like Starbucks or whatever. He's like, I ordered iced coffee with milk, and they're like, with milk? And he was like, yeah, with milk. And got milk with ice. And then he was just like, he like watched people, or it was like that with whipped cream too or whatever, and he watched it and he was just like, oh, that's fun. And then like realized he was like, I wonder who got that.
Yeah.
And then it was his. It's like,
that's fun. I always wonder.
He was just like, I took it. He's like, I took it, I threw it away, and I went to the next one. He goes, I'll take that as my fault. It is what it is.
You know, he ordered iced coffee with milk, not milk with ice.
Yeah. So like it's a much better bit than that, obviously. Like I'd go watch it, but it was like, it's so, because I was like, yeah, that's what I would do. Like anytime someone fucks up my order, I'm just like, that is what it is.
Yeah.
I once got a sub from D'Angelo's, wanted steak and cheese, got fucking chicken and like cheese in it, and I was like, it's an L. I got an L today. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
I think the last time I went to D'Angelo's, I'm every time I tell someone I do not want mayonnaise on a sandwich, they look at me like I'm nuts. I'm convinced I'm the only person that doesn't like mayo.
Yeah, I don't like mayonnaise.
But so I order steak and cheese, banana peppers, bacon, tomato, toasted. And they go, mayonnaise? No. She goes, sauce? No, just what I asked for. She goes, so you don't want mayonnaise on your sandwich? I go, no. Are you sure? Yes. So you don't want mayonnaise, no sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said no sauce. Are you sure? Like, this literally went on for at least 20. She must have been fucking with me. But I almost asked her, like, should I get mayonnaise on my sandwich?
Yeah.
Do you know something I don't know?
Yeah.
Is this not mayonnaise at all? Like, and that
Yeah.
happened at like a McDonald's or like an ice cream place once too. When I was getting like a milkshake, they were like, whipped cream? No. You don't want whipped cream? No, I don't want whipped cream.
Yeah, they're big on that. Yeah.
There's something like they're spiking it.
Yeah.
All those white sauces and foods, they're spiking it with something.
That's that's Nate Bargatze's joke of,
is it?
Of like with milk? Yeah, iced coffee with milk.
Are you sure?
Milk. Yeah, I don't want cream. I don't want.
Yeah.
And it was like,
have you told you about the
multiple times back and forth, and it was like, I don't think And it's funny because like soon as you go back and forth that much, like you're instantly like,
You're confused.
You'd think like, okay, we went back and forth that much to clarify. It's gonna be right.
Mm-hmm.
You go back and forth that much, you go, this is gonna be fucked up, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The more questions there are, the more it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Have I told you about the race day in D'Angelo's? When I worked at D'Angelo's, so it was race day in Loudon, and so all these guys who were driving the car, like not the actual race car drivers.
Dale Earnhart's like,
No,
let me
no,
get
no.
a steak and cheese, buddy.
No, like the people that drive the truck that the car's in,
Yeah.
like Mac, you know, Mac from from Cars.
Yeah. The guy, yeah.
So the truck drivers
Yeah.
come in and they're getting sandwiches. Yep, what do you want? Steak and cheese, blah, blah, blah. Do you have fries? They're all Southern, by the way.
Yeah.
No, we don't have fries. Taters? No. Tater tots? No. Do you have any sides? Just chips. All right. I'll
Yeah,
take the
that
chips.
stinks. Yeah,
So-
that stinks.
No hash browns? Nope. This isn't a breakfast place. No hash browns.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get a bag of chips. Anything else? Y'all got milkshakes? No. He orders the next guy in line.
Same thing, yeah.
Yep.
You got fries?
You got
this?
fries? Nope.
Oh.
Taters? Nope. Tater tots?
Yeah.
No. Waffle fries?
It is very
Nope.
annoying to not have French fries. Like if you're gonna sell, if you're a place that sells burgers, you should automatically be forced to sell fries. It's
Yeah.
very annoying to not be able to do that.
Yeah. But so, third guy comes in 10 minutes later. They must have come in third because they're third, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he orders his whole sandwich, and he goes, "Do you guys have I just go, "We don't have fries." He goes, "You got milkshakes?" No, we don't have milkshakes.
Yeah. Go across the street. I
Yeah.
promise they have that.
Yeah. The fourth guy comes in. He goes, "Can I just get a large order of fries?" I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We don't have fries."
They have a text chain where they're just like, ask about the fries.
Go fuck with that kid.
Yeah.
And like, dude, literally all he wanted was fries. He left there with like a brisk tea. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He came in for fries and left with a brisk tea.
It's a sad day.
Did you see that they're adding like a semi-pro hockey team at Tri-Town?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what Tri-Town is?
No.
It's the hockey rink in Hooksett.
Okay.
So Joanna's friend made the logo for that hockey
Oh,
team.
yeah.
So that's where they're going to be. And so there's new owners of Tri-Town, and they're saying for those games they're going to have between 800 and 1,000 fans there.
Where are these people coming from?
I have no idea. But we were talking to the concession lady because Joanna's going to work there this summer. She was saying she needs like 6 people to work there for game days. 1 for the bar, or 2 for the bar, 3 for concession, or no, maybe it was like 8 or 10
This is
people.
the place down the road from Regal, Hooksett?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And they're going to have 3 or 4 mini
That parking lot
bars.
doesn't even look like it would fit that much.
No.
Even half of it.
But they're
Okay.
saying that they're going to have 3 or 4 mini bars where you just sell canned drinks. And she was saying, yeah, each person that day, like on game day, will probably make $400 to $600 in tips. And I was like,
That's sweet.
sign me the fuck up for a Saturday night.
I would, I mean, I would wait a couple weeks and make sure
Yeah.
the
but
crowd
like,
is.
yeah. But I mean, like, $400 in tips
Yeah.
for one night.
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
You
saying they're
can
gonna
you can
take-
make some really good money.
They were saying, oh, I can't probably say that, but
Yeah. That'd be cool to go to.
I think we need to get a logo, an official logo. Anyone wants to make our logo, you have to clip this, by the way. If anyone wants to make our logo,
Or an
Hold it.
intro.
or an intro. Do you see Micaiah just did like a music
I
video
did. Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I was like, all right, well, now you should be free. I keep being. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what it would be. Like, would it
I
just be
know.
clips of us talking? Like,
Yeah.
we don't have any cool stuff
Yeah.
that we've done. Like,
I don't have stuff.
we don't, like,
I don't have an object. Yeah.
what are you going to do? Have a video of you jumping over a cage when you were 19 years old? Like,
I don't know.
there's been
Yeah.
nothing cool videographed of of
Yeah.
Maybe we need to go out with,
It would just be like clips of this.
we need to go do like a photo
like-
shoot with David and
Yeah.
Adam. That's what we need to do.
Okay.
Walk down this.
All right.
I'll wear my pajamas.
Yeah, all right.
How much for us to do a photo shoot with David?
It would have to be like a funny thing.
We should.
Like I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be like. Like I wouldn't do anything.
Biting your lip. Your hair is all wet.
Yeah.
You have a
I look
bucket
like
of
a wet.
KFC.
I look like a wet dog.
You're sitting on like the State House steps like this, with a bucket of KFC.
That would be funny. Okay, this might happen. This would be funny.
I actually want to.
No, this
Like
would be funny.
like my trophy
Yeah.
photo shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be funny.
I'm all in on this now. This is
yeah.
gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, another one down.
It's been a while.
Another one bites the dust.